Hi there, today was day 7, my final day of living on state pension. I got up and had ready breakfast yet again, got the tube into the West End, went to the Cenotaph Parade and watched the Remembrance Sunday Memorial Service, which was free and something that a lot of pensioners appear to do, which was really nice to go and pay my respects. I then walked to the Blue Post pub in Soho, where Carly and I claimed our free meal that we had got about 2 or 4 on Tuesday when we went to the pub quiz, so that was free lunch. I bought a Coke with it, which cost me £2.20, which was the only money I spent today. We then got the tube to the Science Museum in South Kensington, which was free, walked around there for a couple of hours. And then I got the tube home, where I just spent this evening watching TV. I made myself spaghetti bolognese for dinner, which is the first time I've eaten indoors this week in the evening, with some ingredients I had bought on Monday at Iceland. And that's it, and just sort of caught up on some TV and doing my final diary now and just wrapping up the experiment. So at the end of the week, I have £13.49 left. I started the week with £72.54. I think the £13.49 is quite good going, to be honest, out of that budget. I'm quite proud of myself for having that money left over. As well as having that money left over, I found that I also have quite a bit of food left over from my original food shop. So with regards to a pensioner having their pension 1 week and then what they would have to spend their money on the next week, the way I have done it, I would have more food left so that I wouldn't have to spend so much money on food shopping the next week. I have enough food left for about 1 spaghetti bolognese, I think 3 portions of chicken soup, maybe a couple more packed lunches, and then quite a lot of tea, half a box of ready bread, about 2 pints of milk. Quite a lot of food that is left over. Some of it obviously perishable. The bread might not last that much longer, to be honest. But some of it, obviously, like the tea bags and the ready bread, would just keep going for a little while longer, and the frozen portions of the soup that would still be capable of being used next week. So so I think I've done quite well with regards to how much money I've got left and how much food I've got left. So if it was a rolling experiment, I would be doing quite well the next week. Things I've learnt from this experiment are that living on state pension is not easy. It's possible, but I will admit it hasn't been always the most enjoyable thing. I think as a 1 week test period, I've been quite fortunate to be able to do quite a lot of free activities in London. However, if this was my life all of the time, I think the problem with it would be that you would need to be spreading out these free activities over a much longer period of time, like your entire year. So all of the museums and the art galleries that I've been to in a 1 week period, if as a pensioner I did all of those in 1 week because I can't afford to do much, then what would I be doing next week? So I definitely think that entertainment wise it would be quite difficult for a pensioner to be entertained themselves. I would probably end up spending a lot more time indoors watching TV, to be honest, rather than going out as much as I did. Also with regards to luxury, I have managed this week, but I really don't feel that it's been in any way as luxurious as some may hope to be able to have when they are older and in later life. I mean, variety with lunch has been quite boring, having the same lunch every day, and I think that's something I take for granted now. As a young person who has a regular income, is being able to vary my meals and vary my diet and eat differently all the time. I find now that maybe I take for granted the fact that I can just walk into a shop and decide to buy myself some clothes or some accessories, because I think as a pensioner you can't really do that. The fact that I've only got the £13.49 left, that's quite good in terms of the money I spent on entertainment and food, but £13.49 is nothing with regards to those one-off larger expenditures that a pensioner would have to do, such as maybe buying new clothes or, say, having a haircut. Those kind of things I think would be quite difficult living on state pension, to be honest. So I've learned a lot about not taking things for granted that I have now, and also about planning for the future, because I really think that living on a state pension wouldn't be particularly fun, to be honest, and I would much rather save money now for the future. Yeah, so I've learned quite a few things. There's also, I feel, a lot more empathy for pensioners and that sort of lifestyle, so that has taught me some things. And yeah, that's about it. So I think I've learned some things about not just how to plan for the future, but with regards to how I spend my money now, because I realise when you are living on a budget and how little money I spend on the packed lunches and still had hardly any money left over, it makes me realise how much money I must spend going out every day and buying lunch when I'm at work. So I think I've learned some skills with regards to budgeting now as a young person, and also skills that will serve me better later in life. It's been a really interesting experiment. I'm really glad that I've done it. And yeah, that's about it, to be honest. So yeah, that was my living on a state pension. Bye.